Good evening, class. Today I am going to start a new chapter of your class, and that is the natural resources, chapter number 14. Okay, we have completed fourth chapters, okay, in your class, and fifth one is running, and last 16 is remain. Okay, so in this, the natural resources, firstly, we have to understand the term natural resources. Okay, natural means it is the generally providing a different types of environment, and resources means which are generally beneficial for us, that is called natural resources, which are generally provided in the way of natural medium, not an artificial. natural जो प्रकृति होती है, artificial means जिसको man made होते हैं, जिसको man made उसको बनाते हैं. So most important point you have to focus that natural resources is the most important part for the human beings, because they provide several types of resources or equipments for the human beings, by which human beings can get and they use properly, and they also fulfill their needs. Okay, so natural resources play an important role in all the human beings. Okay, most important point you all have to follow. Okay, so here we have to discuss that how natural resources are distributed in our earth. So for your kind information, I want to tell you that natural resources are generally distributed in a different types of, okay, whether in a hills region, there is also different types of natural resources. In Himalayan region, there is also different types of natural regions, and many more of the earth, there is a natural distributions are generally distributed in a different manners. Okay, so here we are generally living on a earth, and in a earth there is a various types of natural resources are provided, and we have to use very carefully, by which we cannot harm them, otherwise it will be exhaust in a one day. Okay, so one by one we have to discuss that life on earth is a very critical. Okay, why? Because in a previous days, life on earth is a very critical, because there was a absence of different types of resources. Okay, in previous, the different types of human beings are primitive men are generally used to derive their food materials from the bark of trees and leaves and many more things, and they also use to eat different types of rough materials. Okay, they don't know how to cook food, they don't know how to wear clothes, etc. So this is all the things. But when the human beings are totally exists in the natures, they are generally adopted, and they make own self development to use different types of food materials, different types of cloth material, how to use, how to prepare, and how to modify that. All the natural resources are generally beneficial for the human beings, as well as all the in evolutionary systems. Okay, so here we have to discuss that life on earth in a previous years was a very problematic, but today the life is very possible, and all the human beings are totally dependent on natural resources. Okay, so dependent on many factors, बहुत सारे factors पे depend होते थे human beings पहले की डेट में. जैसे उनको बहुत सारी चीज़ों की कमी होती थी, किसी को खाने की कमी, किसी को कपड़े की कमी. So that time the natural resources are generally fulfill all the requirements. उनके आज की डेट में नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज बहुत सारी चीजों के फुलफिलमेंट्स कर चुके हैं. सो हियर नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज आर अवेलेबल ऑन अर्थ एज अ एनर्जी फ्रॉम द सन. जैसे हम एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं, सपोज वी आर टेकिंग एन एग्जांपल्स. यहाँ पे देखते हैं कि जो हमारा सोलर एनर्जी है, आज पिछले के डेट में हम सोलर एनर्जी के यूज के बारे में नहीं जानते थे. वी आर टोटली अनअवेयर अबाउट द सोलर एनर्जी यूजेस, बिकॉज एंड दैट टाइम वी नो द सोलर एनर्जी इज जनरली यूज to provide electricity in our homes, in our schools, in our colleges, in our many more hospitals. Several times we are using the solar energy, and solar energy is the in the present time they become a brand. Okay, so most important point here, we are using solar energy from which is generally obtained from sun. In primitives, the previous men do not know the meaning of solar energy, and they don't know how to use sun energy. So that is the most problematic things, and here we currently know that the meaning and exact uses of sun, and that is called also a natural resources. जो हमारा sun है वो एक natural resources का बहुत important part है, which is never be exhaustible, जो कभी नहीं थकता. Continuously they provide electricity, continuously they provide radiations, continuously they provide hard work to the environment. ये हमेशा अपना hard work करते रहता है, जिस कारण से we are getting light enough, we are getting solar energy enough. ठीक है. So apart from that, there is also several types of natural resources like land, जमीन रहने के लिए, air for breathing, water for drinking, bathing, washing, etc. all of these are the natural resources. सबसे most important part जो है आपका land for living and for making our own habitat, air for breathing, water from drinking and washing and bathing, many more uses of water we know that. But these three things are required for existence of life forms. Okay, so most important point, if you don't know the meaning of air, water and land, so your life is totally spoiled. But most important point here I have written here, land रहने के लिए, air सांस लेने के लिए, water for पीने के लिए, ठीक है, जो ड्रिंकिंग फैसिलिटी है, बाथिंग फैसिलिटी है, और भी जो भी फैसिलिटी है, which are generally acquired by all these resources. Sun is also a resources, because if the sun is not there, it means the electricity will not be created or generated. And most important point, land, air, water and sun, all the four elements are the natural resources which are most important for the all the human beings. Okay, whether it is male or female or a small child or infant child, so it is the important and beneficial part, and they play an important role to exhibit one by one, and they also use to replenish the resources one by one. So today we are going to discuss that different types of factors which may affect the natural resources. Okay, from starting we have studied what is the meaning of natural resources. Now we are going to discuss that which type of factors are generally affecting natural resources. अब जो है हम ये देखने जा रहे हैं कि जो हमारा नेचुरल रिसोर्स है वो किन किन चीजों से अफेक्ट होता है, जो वो प्रॉब्लमेटिक बनते हैं. सो फर्स्ट वन इज बायोटिक एंड सेकंड इज अबायोटिक. कुछ ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं which are generally polluted our natural resources. Some pollutants are living and some are non living. Here biotic means जिनमें लाइफ है, जो लाइफ फॉर्म्स को कैरी करते हैं, दे आर लिविंग. एंड एबायोटिक ऐसे सब्सटेंस जो लाइफ फॉर्म्स को कैरी नहीं करते हैं, जैसे maybe chemicals, fertilizers etc. are called abiotic, which can harming to the natural resources. ये हमारे natural resources जैसे water, जैसे हमारा air और जैसे हमारा land या फिर जो भी energy उन सबको क्या कर रहे हैं, destroy कर रहे हैं. Okay, most important part we have to discuss that biotic. Again I am repeating again, biotic means living, means those organisms which are very important, but they are also creating pollutions in our environment, they are also destroying our natural resources. Abiotic means they are non-living. Non-living means certain types of chemicals, fertilizers, biopesticides etc. are there in our environment which can also pollute and destroy our natural resources. Okay, so these are the outcomes of the factors affecting natural resources. Now second most important point is pollution. What we know that the pollution, suppose we are living in a wonder of science and we are living in a fresh environment, but several times when the contaminated things are generally added in our environment will become pollutant, and that is called the pollutions. वो हम अगर किसी साफ सुथरे वातावरण में रहते हैं, वहां पे अगर कोई कंटामिनेटेड चीजों का ऐड होता है, उस कारण से हमारा पूरा एनवायरनमेंट पॉल्यूट हो जाता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड पॉल्यूशन. एंड द एजेंट्स विच आर जनरली क्रिएटिंग पॉल्यूशंस आर कॉल्ड पॉल्यूटेंट्स. और वो चीजें जो हमारे पॉल्यूशंस को बढ़ावा दे रही हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड पॉल्यूटेंट्स. उन्हें हम पॉल्यूटेंट्स कहते हैं. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट अगर हम बात करते हैं तो टाइप्स ऑफ पॉल्यूशंस आर जनरली डिफरेंट टाइप्स, बहुत सारे टाइप्स होते हैं. इफ यू विल रीच इन 11th and 12th क्लास यू हैव टू स्टडी 6 to 7 टाइप्स ऑफ पॉल्यूशन. देयर इज आल्सो अ thermal and radiation pollution, nuclear pollutions and many more pollutions you will study, but here you have to study only 4 types of pollutions. Okay, so in first we have to study air pollution, second water pollution, third soil pollution, and next is noise pollutions. Okay, one by one we have to discuss all the topics. So air pollution is a very dangerous things for the human beings, because we know that we are living in an atmosphere. हम एक atmosphere में survive करते हैं, and there is a atmosphere in which they contain fresh airs. Okay, what is there is a fresh air, but when the impurities are added in air, that time our air will get contaminated, and that leads to the air pollutions. Okay, how air pollutions are generally created? We are living in a fresh water atmosphere. हम एक किसी fresh water atmosphere में रहते हैं, and fresh atmosphere या fresh हमारा जो भी आसपास का जैसे वाटर हो गया, सॉइल हो गया या नॉइज हो गया, इन सारी चीजें हमारे आसपास के इन्वायरमेंट में इजीली अवेलेबल है। बट व्हेन द इम्प्योरिटीज, इम्प्योरिटीज मतलब होता है जो गंदगी होती है, जब हमारे इन्वायरमेंट में या तो एयर के साथ या तो वाटर के साथ, सॉइल के साथ या तो नॉइज के साथ जब मिक्स होते हैं, नॉइज इज अ डिफरेंट फ्रॉम ऑल दिस थिंग्स, ओके, वी विल डिस्कस इन अ लेटर क्लासेस। सो जब भी इम्प्योरिटीज आपके एयर, वाटर और सॉइल में जब मिक्स होती हैं, दैट कॉजेस द पॉल्यूशन एंड इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज air, water and soil. Generally we know that air is the breathing part of human beings. It is the breathing part and most important part for human beings, because without three elements the life is not possible on the earth. So air is the most important part and we are going to study how the air get affected. So we have to know that the agents of air pollutions. Okay, we are here writing agents of air pollutions. So which type of agents are generally created air pollution? So we know that several types of factories, dust and smoke are generally releasing, several types of factories and dust, smoke releasing from outside their factories, and that mix with the atmosphere and causes air pollutions. Okay, next important point is that there is a several types of chemicals also secreting in our environment, and that chemicals also creates air pollutions. After that we have to discuss that several types of burning things. Burning means generally most of the human beings are generally unaware and they used to burn tires, plastics and many more things, and that create a burning substance, fumes like creating from that burning part, and that also leads to the air pollution. So several types of pollutions are there which can contaminate our airs and also affect the respiratory systems of air. So some more factors are also there in your NCERT book. If you will read, definitely you will get some more points about which type of agents are generally, if we are using here, their vehicles are also irresponsible, because several types of vehicles, when bike, cars, work, etc., are generally disposing their gases in a fumes manner in the atmosphere, by which our air also gets contaminated. So many more things are there, but we have to very concentrate to avoid these all the types of factors, by because if we will not take care of this, definitely the air will also not take care of us. So most important point we have to follow that which type of effect are generally created by air pollutions. ओके, सो एयर पोल्यूशन से बहुत सारे नुकसान है हमें, क्योंकि अगर एयर पोल्यूशन होते हैं, एयर पोल्यूशन फर्स्टली आई एम रिपीटिंग अगेन, एयर पोल्यूशन आर जनरली कॉज्ड बाय फैक्ट्री डस्ट स्मोक विच आर रिलीजिंग डे बाय डे, हर एक दिन वो रिलीज करते हैं फैक्ट्रियाँ। बहुत सारी चीज़ों को हम लोग यूजुअली बर्न करते हैं, जलाते हैं फॉसल्स पे उसको, जो कि अपने एटमॉस्फेयर में जाने के बाद उनके डस्ट पार्टिकल्स स्टिक होने के बाद काफ़ी ज़्यादा फ्यूम्स क्रिएट करते हैं, दैट इज ऑल्सो लीड्स टू द एयर पॉल्यूशन। ओके, अगर एयर पॉल्यूशन इंक्रीज होते रहेगा, देयर इज अ सेवरल टाइप्स ऑफ इफेक्ट ऑन ह्यूमन बींग्स। इस इफेक्ट में क्या होगा, सबसे पहले इट ब्लॉक द पैसेज ऑफ रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम, रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम यानी जो सांस लेने की सिस्टम्स हैं उसको ये लोग डिस्ट्रॉय कर देंगे। ठीक है, डिस्ट्रॉय करने के बाद ह्यूमन बींग्स आर जनरली अनेबल टू टेक प्रॉपर ऑक्सीजन, दैट टाइम ह्यूमन लीड्स टू डाई, और इंसान उसके बाद वो मरने लगेंगे। सेकंड, इट आल्सो स्टॉप द ब्लॉकेज ऑफ ब्रोंकियाल्स, एल्वोलाई एंड मेनी मोर थिंग्स। दे आल्सो चॉप्ड आवर नोज एंड देयर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट, by which human gets problems. They also leads to the asthma. Okay, asthma is a disease which are generally created by air pollution. When several types of harmful gases are generally comes in your body, definitely you will get asthma, and there is a problem of respiration. Okay, there is a problem of exhaling and inhaling of oxygen. उस समय सांस लेने में और सांस को रिलीज करने में काफी प्रॉब्लम्स होता है। So these are the problems which are generally created by air pollution. Okay, most important point, it also affect in our eyes, in our mind, and mental pressures also creates by air pollution. So we have to focus all the things. Now there is a several types of agents by which we can avoid air pollutions. By most important point, we have to set up means we have to set up factories for place ठीक है, हमें जो फैक्ट्री को है सबसे पहले सेट अप फैक्ट्रीज फ्रॉम फॉर प्लेस वेयर द रेसिडेंशियल इज टोटली अवेलेबल, जहाँ पे रहने के लिए कोई इंसान वहाँ पे अवेलेबल ना हो, एकदम घर से काफी दूर पे फैक्ट्री को सेटअप करना चाहिए। सेकंड, टू रिड्यूस एयर पॉल्यूशन वी हैव टू डू फॉरेस्ट्रेशन। फॉरेस्ट्रेशन मुश्किल से ज्यादा हमें बहुत सारे पेड़ों को लगाना, फॉरेस्ट्रेशन, या जिसको हम कहते हैं सेकंड वे में हम इसे कहते हैं प्लांटेशंस। ओके, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, या इसी को हम एफॉरेस्ट्रेशन के नाम से भी जानते हैं। ठीक है, एफॉरेस्ट्रेशन इज आल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ plantation. ठीक है, forestation most important part if you will do, definitely the oxygen's level is totally balanced and there is a not a leakage and not a shortage of oxygen, and human beings are easily gets available of oxygen. So most important point, set up factories from the different places are power places. Second, forestation, plantation and afforestation should be initialized, by which air pollution can be reduced. Third step, we have to discuss that we should avoid much use of vehicles. Okay, जहाँ जरूरत हो, ठीक है, we have to use of less use of vehicles, because जहाँ पे यूज हमें पास के लिए जाना है, we have to use bicycle in place of bike or car, because bike and car also release several types of smoke and gases from their body parts, and they also leads to the air pollution. So in place of vehicles and bike, we have to use bicycles for short duration and short distance travel. So ऐसे बहुत सारे और भी outcomes है जिससे हम सारी चीजों से, if the factories are releasing very harmful gas, firstly they have to filter that air pollution air, and after that they have to release from the atmosphere, by which the air pollutions get be controlled. ठीक है, जो भी फैक्ट्रीज रिलीज करती है पहले उनको फिल्टर करें, फिर उसके बाद बाहर की तरफ रिलीज करें, by which the air pollution can be controlled. So in this video we have discussed the natural resources, air pollutions. In next video we will study the water pollution, is it which type of agents causes water pollution, what is their harmful effect, and how we can prevent water pollution. Okay, till then whatever I have taught you, you all have to revise it. If you get any problem, you can ask me. Thank you, students.